everybody, welcome back. Yep, we're a little bit crouched down in here. We're just inside the portal of this lead
and silver.
Lead, silver, and copper.
Copper, probably gold.
Gold, maybe a little bit of gold mine here
Yeah,
too.
Mainly lead and silver, I think, is the commodity.
And so the reason that we're starting the episode off like this is because on the other side of the camera, we believe that maybe it was last summer, or at least within the last 6 to 8 months, they were doing extensive core drilling in this area, which means that there's a mineral claim through here, and if they like what they find, well, then they'll come back and all of this will be destroyed.
Yep.
Someday, you know, but it takes a long time for these things to happen. Right now they're in the core drilling phase. So to finally get to the actual mining phase could take many years. But the point that I'm trying to make is that if they do like what they find, they will come up here and all of this will be destroyed. And that's why we decided that we're going to get up here and run a camera through this mine before it's gone forever. Now, we did poke into the mine a little bit ago, and we found some scribblings from 1909.
Yes, yep.
Yeah, so pretty cool. Real turn of the century mine here. So we've got, I don't know how far the main haulage adit goes. We're going to have to figure that out. But we know we've got a 300-foot winze.
Yes.
And so we need to take a look at that, see if it's something we're going to need ropes for. But pretty good sized mine here. I'm looking forward to checking it out. All right, guys, let's get started. All right, here we go. You know, over the years, I have discovered many mines where they ended up being destroyed in a similar situation. And back then, I did not have cameras like I do now to document them. This is back in the 80s and 90s when I used to do my thing as a hobbyist in this. What we have right here, this is a mercury barrel. You can tell by the 2 rings on the side, and it looks like it's been repurposed looks like it's been repurposed as an accumulator of some sort. Right there, you can see the hose coming out of it. Yeah, mercury. Mercury's heavy. Just think, if you were to fill that up with mercury, you're looking at over 1,000 pounds, and that's why those big rings were put on there, so that it could be rolled on its side. We got a little sleepy little bat right there.
Another one right above my head. The perfect kinds of bats.
It's really sleep. It's chilly.
Yeah.
And that's why they're still hibernating. But yeah, you know, it's so if anybody watches my channel that's in the mining industry and you are getting ready to reclaim old abandoned mines and you know for sure that something is going to be destroyed, contact me. I would love to run a camera through it before that happens. They can look up here. We've got a lot of stoles holding up backfill. We definitely have some open stopes above our head because higher up on the hill you can see waste rock coming up and out from surface workings. That tells me that there's stopes between here and there. And look at what we've got here. Here's our winze. And look at the woodwork in here. Wow. And we've had a fire. Something caught the timbers on fire up here.
But they're still, well, for the most part, they're still intact. The ones above are kind of looking a little
crispy.
They're not great.
Look at the big iron pipe right there that was used for exhaust.
Yeah.
They were running the exhaust up and out. So we had some kind of a hoist in here at one time. Yep. Now it's been long since removed. There's a little table up there with a coffee can and a few other things. Down here on the floor is just a whole lot of this and that's and doodads. Okay, off to my right, a couple of things hanging off the wood there. Here is a Laura's self-portrait.
Yes.
This is from, I think she was...
about 100 years ago.
There you go. Nice self-portrait, Laura.
Maybe that explains why I like being in mines.
And as I turn around and look up, you can see where the sheave wheel used to be, but now it's long gone. right up there. And then pointing down this direction.
Here's the 1909 over here.
Okay, one second here. Let me show them this real quick. Well, Wild Bill was in here, but that's pretty recent.
Yeah.
Notice the geology. See how it's dipping straight down right there? And off this direction, we've got our winze here, which is supposed to be 300 feet deep. Let's look at it. Oh, that's easy. That's a walk in the park, Laura.
Compared to some of the other ones that we've been in.
Yeah, that's nothing. That looks really, really nice. I see a few little, maybe some hangers down in there, but I think we can do that without rope.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's back up here, circle around, point the camera this direction. Let me give you guys let me kind of put the 360 up in the air and give you all a view of this, of all the woodwork in here. Isn't this cool? And look at the size of the two timbers to hold up the internal head frame here for this hoist. Pretty cool. We got someone's old hat. Okay, so that so scribblings were, where were they? Right,
They were right
saw them
over
right
here. There's the 1909 right there.
There it is. Yeah, 1909.
And then there's I saw a 1946 right there.
I'm gonna turn my headlamp off. We'll get in on that 1909. Right there. 1946. Yeah. Right there. Anything else?
I have not seen any other scribblings as of right now. There's a square nail.
Oh yeah, square nail there too. All right. Okay, turning around. Look at the stalls here holding up the backfill from this big stope. Wow, that thing is about 12 inches in diameter.
Looks like they're all hand cut too with axe.
Let's look up this ore chute. You can see all the smoke damage up there, guys. See how black it is? And then see what they're doing is they're working the surface ore, the surface workings, and dropping it down right through this area and funneling it into this chute. Is what's going on. Be interesting to see if we find another chute. It looks pretty extensive up there. But we're going to stay on the main for right now before we explore the winze and see how far back this goes in. Looking up that way. Again, there's more access to the stope. Now you can see all the flags in here from the geologists taking samples. Here we have a backfilled drift. You'd have to do a little bit of wiggling to get into there. Probably doesn't go in very far. That's why they backfilled it. Okay, so now I can smell sulfides.
Yeah.
And just by looking at the geology around us, you can see why that is. Okay, let's look up one more time. Now, Laura was able to find a workings map of this mine on the internet. So we're going to look into that to see if I can use it without a copyright problem. If I can show it to you guys, I'll put it up on the screen right now. But if I can't, then you just got done listening to a nice long pause. Okay. Let's keep going. Yeah, you can smell them sulfides, can't you?
Yeah.
All right, keeps going straight. We've got something off to our left here that's been backfilled. And then...
that might connect with our backfilled drift.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Let me turn around and point the camera that way. That just might curve around.
Yep.
And then go over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll take a look on the way back. Okay. Look at here. I can stand up in this one.
It's always a plus.
Without hitting my head. I like it. Now, according to that workings map, there should be a large stope in here somewhere. A big one.
I wonder if this is it right up here.
Oh yeah, this has got to be
where
it.
that ladder is.
It sure is. Oh, that's some interesting stuff, but they didn't Look at the footwall here.
Oh, yeah.
But they didn't take it, so that's not the ore. It's the stuff above. It's that right there that's up against the footwall. All right, looking up. Working's going there. And, oh yeah, yeah. Look at all that. Look at all the ladders going up. Bangity bangity all the way up into that stope.
Arrow that says 31 feet pointing up.
Okay. You know, that ladder doesn't look all that bad.
No.
Well, we're going to pick our battles. And two things I want to do is pretty much film the main haulage level like we're doing right now. Look at this big old rope here.
Oh.
Look at that.
Is that a rope that we can use if we need it? Or it's probably a little old.
I think that one there is big enough to use to help pull Bob out of a hole. Oh, look straight up here.
There's all smoke damage
Yeah,
again.
so when whoever lit that on fire, this is where all the smoke went. It's going right up an air shaft. See that? That's what this is. That's an air shaft. All smoke damaged. Okay. What we got up here now? Maybe another winze? Yeah, we certainly do, don't we?
Is this the older winds? That goes vertical, just about.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
That goes a ways.
Ooh, that's stinky, isn't it?
Yeah, it's stinky.
Not as stinky as the Lum Gray.
No, that was really stinky. This one looks like it could be maybe the older access to the lower workings, just based on the size of the ladder and everything else.
Wow.
Yeah, that goes vertical just about.
It certainly does. Okay, guys, maybe I should use the 360 on this big space. Spin it around. Check it out. Pretty darn cool. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's keep going. You notice this, the floor that we're walking on right here is all backfill?
Yeah.
So the stope went down. Now this is really interesting. Look at the squeeze that this stall is getting right here. You see that? Look at off to the right, how that board is bent.
Yeah. And even on the left, look at that one.
Oh yeah. That one's really getting the squeeze, isn't it?
Yeah. It's trying to fill itself back in.
Sure is. That's what Mother Nature does.
Yeah.
Off to my right, we've got another backfill drift with a gobbing. And straight up, what do we have here? Look at here, they were getting ready to make another ore pass or an air shaft, and they quit. Well, that's got to be the pretty. If that is an ore pass, that's the most beautiful ore pass I've ever seen. Look at how nicely squared off that is. They took pride in their work here, didn't they? Wow. Huh. Boy, those miners, I tell you. What a bunch of hard-working men, huh? Okay. See, this is what's going on, guys. So you see how this slabbed away from the footwall? Same thing's trying to happen back there where that stall is.
Yeah.
And that's why it's bowing like it is. Pretty crumbly in here. Looks like porphyry material similar to what you have in Goldfield and Tonopah. Same kind of geology. The interesting thing will be is how much stink when we get down that winze.
Yeah.
Because there's no air going down in there. At least I don't think there is.
I mean, unless that winze that we just looked at ties in with the other one.
Yeah.
So you could have airflow between the two.
That's a possibility. Yep. Okay, stop here for a second. Let me turn my lights down. We got some scribblings. Kind of hard to make out though, but I bet you guys can see it better than me. I'm pretty close. Now we do have a 1949 right here, right there. Okay, let's keep going. Oh boy, scribbling's all over, but this is more modern.
Yeah.
Yeah, 22. modern stuff. Here's some oldies. Mary Road was in here.
See all the pick marks too along
that
there.
Just made it worse. I shouldn't have done that.
Love LW JY.
Yeah.
And then some modern day Yahoo
Modern day
scribbled
stuff.
out the rest of it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Still going. I'd say we're probably at least, probably 250, 300 feet into this haulage by now. More modern day scribblings. We got slat rail on the floor, and now they're backfilling. See this?
Yep.
Yeah. Now they're backfilling. And I'm crouched down. Oh boy, it's hard on the back. Goodness. Well, it's all backfilled for a reason, because it stops right there. That's it. That's exactly what I remember on the workings map. Okay.
A piece of old fuse right there.
Oh yeah. All right. Now we'll look at your backside on the way out of here. Oh, that beam bent over is terrible.
All right.
Oh. Ouch. Okay. So, I'm just going to take you guys with us in case we see something we missed. Yeah, when you're bent over like that, you huff and puff. Whew. I'm kind of going fast through this because I would imagine we're going to be spending a lot of time on the winze.
Yeah.
What elevation are we at here?
I think we're almost 7,000 feet.
Yeah. See, 1 second, Laura. See, guys, remember when I was telling you it takes me a few weeks to get adjusted. See, down there in Arizona and Southern California, you're 700 feet.
Yeah.
Above sea level is all, heck, you can go up and down those hills all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But you get up here to 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 feet, and you get this, Mr. Huffer Puffer, until you acclimate to the elevation. So I'm gonna take a break a second, calm my breathing down. I'll be back. Whew. All right, there we go. Back again. Yeah, go ahead, Laura. You can stay in front of me. Much better. Okay. A lot of flaking going on in here.
It's about ready to come
that
down.
rib on the right-hand side,
Yeah.
they're getting ready to go too. Well, after spending some time examining that workings map, oh, now, go stand by that board, please. This is, wow, would you look at that? See, that offers nice perspective as to how big this stope is. See that? And then looking up, you can see all the geology in here. Ancient hot springs.
Yep.
Is what we've got. Yep. And this is all that groundwater coming up deep in the earth.
Yep.
Bringing up all those minerals. And then
Well, that's where your rope goes.
re-solidifying everything into what you see here. Now above me, right up there, you can see where all that smoke was coming up there and stained the rock. Laura's checking out.
The rope goes down there. That rope that we saw.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's on the right-hand side.
Yeah. Let's be like Jimmy King and use that rope to get down, huh?
Hey, that's a great idea. I love it. I mean, it's probably not that old, I don't think.
Well, at least it's a little bit thicker.
Hey, it feels pretty sturdy too.
Pretty
Yeah,
heavy.
let's do it, man.
All right. Well,
I mean,
we'll
it's
keep it
just-
on the menu, but I'm not promising we're going to be doing that today.
It's tied off to that old stole. I think it's perfectly safe.
Yeah. Yeah, that still ain't going nowhere. All right, what's down there? Oh, Backfilled Stope.
Yeah.
So that tells me that winze you were just looking down, when it gets down to the bottom, it's going to come over the direction that we're walking.
Yeah,
then they cleaned it all out of the ore and then backfilled it. This is what you got to be careful of, guys. And you see stuff like this. See, I've always got my eyes on the geology. You see this big crack right here? That whole thing is ready to flump on over. Those are the things that'll get you. And if it gets a little bit too crazy, that's when we're not going to go any further. But so far, this one's pretty,
Aside from a little stinky, it seems.
We've been in a lot worse.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of worse, we do appreciate you guys making comments, and we're happy to see that you all enjoyed the Lum Gray, both the short version and the long version. That's something I've never really done before, is just kept the camera on the entire time.
Here's our junction.
All right, here's that one. Okay, so if we go up here, are we going to run into that backfill? All right, we got one going that way. We'll come back and revisit it. See if we get it coming to that backfill. Yep. Is it? What's it gonna do? Ooh, see, they marked this. See this here?
Yeah, they were very interested in it.
Yes, they were. They marked the margins with yellow spray paint. See, on the left and on the right. And then they took a sample from somewhere in here.
Yeah.
And there you go. That's your ore. All right. Getting up over here. Yeah, look. There's our pile of backfill. Right there. Okay. All right, we know where we're at now. And I'll show that to you guys once we come work our way back the other direction. All right, turning around here. So with modern technology, it all really depends on the layout of the geology or the layout of the deposit. But mostly these days, everything is done with open pit. And you don't find too many undergrounds anymore. Let's check this out real quick. See, here's another one. Look at that. Yeah, they got that mark, don't they? I'd be real surprised if they came in here and went after this via hard rock. You would think that they would just open pit it. All right, it's probably gonna go up and stop. Yeah, okay. Nothing really to see there. Just more of the dip of the vein of the ore structures, and here's where that other backfill was, Laura.
Oh yeah.
Remember? So if, on the other side of this, guys, is where the gobbing was, where I sat and I took my break.
Is this from when you were a kid?
Hey, Baby Ruth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe that's the same candy bar that Bill Murray used in the movie Caddyshack.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Remember the pool scene? Mm-hmm. I'll just leave it at that. All right, guys. So 360 battery just went out. So I'm going to get up here real quick. We'll just run the forward facer. Let's go back to where that backfilled gobbing is. Okay, here's our haulage at it. Making a left. Here we go. And I'm going to show you guys what I was talking about. So right now we're running parallel with that other drift. And this will spit us out right over here. And here is the backfill that I pointed out to you, and we were just right up there a moment ago. All right, turning around. Here's a couple of nice timbers I can sit on while I change out my battery. All right, guys, I'm going to change out. Right up there is our winze. We'll get started on that next. Be back in a second.
Next week on Abandoned and Forgotten Places.
Let's see if I can get my big old German butt around this. 300 feet of braced timbering fun. Look at that. Wow.